Hey everyone, and welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, the channel where we go beyond the headlines, unpack the real stories, and give you the truth behind the tabloids. I'm your host, Adrian, and today's story is one that strikes a deeply personal chord. Because today, we're diving into Meghan Markle's honest and heartfelt reflections on her discomfort, yes, her real discomfort when it came to the public's obsession with the wardrobes of her children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. We're going to explore her recent conversation on the Aspire podcast with businesswoman Emma Grede, where Meghan pulled back the curtain on fame, fashion, influence and motherhood. This isn't just about clothes, it's about boundaries, respect, love and ultimately control. Control over her story, over her children's image, over her own life. And as always, we're not here to villainize or criticize. We're here to amplify the voices that often get distorted. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's journey through Meghan's world in her own words, with the context and clarity the mainstream press refuses to provide. When Meghan Markle speaks, the world listens. And in her conversation with Emma Grede, a powerhouse entrepreneur and the CEO founder of Good American, Meghan wasn't guarded. She was open, sincere, and yes, protective. They talked about fashion, influence, and the surprising ways the world reacts to even the smallest details in Meghan's life, especially when it comes to Archie and Lilibet. And let's be real, this is a woman who has been dissected, critiqued, and commodified by the press and public for years. But when it came to her children, Meghan's tone shifted. There was warmth, but also a firm boundary. She said, and I quote, "I think what was so wild, maybe the surprise came in when anything that my children were wearing started to get monetized with affiliate sales and became part of headlines and things. That's where it became a little uncomfortable." Can we just pause there? This is a mother talking about how her children's clothing became fodder for marketing schemes and affiliate links. Imagine dressing your toddler for an Easter photo, and suddenly that outfit is making headlines, being monetized by people you've never met, and feeding a machine you never signed up for. And for Meghan, that's the turning point. That's where discomfort met decision. So what does someone like Meghan Markle do when she feels uncomfortable? She creates from a place of purpose. Earlier this year, she launched As Ever, a lifestyle brand that blends fashion, home decor and wellness into one curated experience. But this isn't some celebrity vanity project, it's a response, a reclaiming of narrative. As Ever isn't just a brand, it's a message. This is how I want to present myself, this is what I value, and this is how I want to include my children on my terms. Her now viral Shop My Instagram page featured products from the Easter edit, a mix of candles, home accents, gifts, and yes, children's clothing. Some pieces were clearly inspired by Archie and Lily's wardrobes, but this time, Meghan had the reins. This time, the monetization was hers, not the tabloids. The excitement was hers, not the paparazzi's. In her own words, Meghan explained, "Then you can be happy about it and say, of course, have the same dress that Lily has. It's when it comes from a different side, but that's true with most things in life." This is the nuance that so many critics miss. Meghan is not anti-fashion, she's not anti-influence, she's about authenticity, she's about control, safety and joy, especially for her children, and frankly, she's earned that. Let's not forget, Meghan Markle didn't wake up one day and become a style icon. Her fashion influence started long before royal headlines, back in her Suits days when she played Rachel Zane. She revealed in the interview, "People loved Rachel Zane's wardrobe, which I was very, very involved with because I wanted it to look like a capsule that a real woman would wear, a mix and match." That line is powerful. Meghan didn't just wear costumes, she created characters through clothing. She understood the symbolism, the utility and the power of fashion. She continued, "I was one of the only characters that re-wore pieces, and that was by design." Even before she became the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan was resisting the idea of disposable fashion. She was advocating for sustainability and realism in a world that often fakes both. So when critics accuse her of capitalizing on influence, they conveniently forget that Meghan has always been intentional with her image. The difference now, the stakes are higher because now children are involved. Now let's zoom out for a second. Being a parent is hard enough. Being a royal parent is even harder. But being a royal parent who has chosen not to live under the palace roof, that's a whole different level. Meghan and Harry made the difficult, courageous decision to step away from royal duties in 2020. They chose freedom over formality, privacy over performance, but that doesn't mean the press let them go. Archie and Lilibet, two innocent children, became unwilling participants in a media circus. Every photo, every outfit, every birthday card became content, clickbait. So when Meghan says she was uncomfortable, she's not exaggerating, she's setting a boundary. And she's doing so in a world that rarely respects the boundaries of famous women, especially black women, especially mothers. What's remarkable is that Meghan isn't bitter. She's reflective, she's realistic, and above all, she's empowered. She said it herself. You get to have an acceptance of what it is. There's wisdom in that line. Acceptance doesn't mean surrender. It means owning the situation and steering it in a direction that serves your values. And when it comes to fashion, Meghan isn't rejecting influence, she's reshaping it. She's saying, yes, I'm influential, but let me decide what that means. She's opening the door to shared joy, like when fans want to wear the same dress as Lily, but she's closing the door to exploitation. That's not selfish, that's leadership. Let's talk about the emotional layer here. Meghan isn't just a brand strategist or a media figure, she's a mum. She's a mother who has faced a level of scrutiny most people couldn't handle, and yet she continues to show up for her kids, for her values, and for her voice. When she laughs during the podcast and says, "At the beginning, of course, what is happening?" she's not being dramatic, she's being human. That laughter is layered, part shock, part irony, part resilience. We've seen her smile at events, in interviews, on Instagram, but we know behind that smile is a woman who has endured unimaginable pressure. This interview wasn't just PR, it was healing. It was declaration. And it was a reminder that even in discomfort, Meghan stands tall. So where does this leave Meghan, Harry and the kids? Stronger than ever. As ever is just the beginning. Meghan isn't retreating, she's reinventing, on her terms, in her voice. She's building a legacy that's not about titles or tabloids, it's about intention, about meaning, about joy. And that includes inviting people into her world through curated fashion, shared traditions, and yes, glimpses of Archie and Lily, but only when it feels right. Only when it's safe, only when it's theirs. At the heart of this story is something universal, the desire to protect our children, to tell our own stories, to live a life that feels aligned with who we are. Meghan Markle is doing just that. She's not running from influence, she's mastering it. She's not hiding from fame, she's reframing it. And for those who continue to doubt, dismiss or distort her story, perhaps it's time to sit down, listen and learn. Because Meghan isn't just surviving, she's thriving. And in doing so, she's lighting the way for mothers, creators and dreamers everywhere. This has been Meghan and Harry Tales, and I'm your host, Adrian. If you enjoyed today's deep dive, be sure to like, subscribe and drop a supportive comment for Meghan below. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired, and as Meghan might say, stay as ever.